Hello, my friends. Joe Theodore, astrologer here, and welcome back to the channel. So, my friends, let's talk about the upcoming Aquarius full moon that will be occurring August 19th around 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And boy, oh boy, is this going to be the climax of the turbulent middle of the month August astrology. Now, I'm happy to see that the last two videos I made for my very, very small YouTube channel have gotten more views than other ones. And it's kind of funny to think that even just getting a couple of hundred views for this channel is kind of a jump in my normal my normal upload frequency view count, I guess you can say. I don't know why that is, by the way. I don't know if it's just the algorithm doesn't want to push certain astrology channels, or maybe YouTube is a little oversaturated, but it's really weird because there's so many other social platforms where astrology kind of can get a boost here and there. Like even Instagram, I'm not on there, but I keep hearing that even Instagram, depending if you make reels or something, like it can help with algorithms and stuff. Anyway, I don't know what the deal is with YouTube, but if you guys like the videos and comment, that's supposed to tell the algorithm to share the channel. I don't know. And I'm just super horrible at promoting my I'm just super bad at being on YouTube and saying, "Hey, smash that like button, guys." Yeah. But yeah, maybe this Aquarius full moon will change my luck with maybe some YouTube algorithm stuff, because Aquarius has a lot to do with collective ideals. Aquarius has an energy of the people. It is a unique and innovative, progressive zodiac sign. We need Aquarius energy to look at the world differently. We need that Uranian blast of chaos and air to allow us to have moments that can kind of come out of the blue and shock us and surprise us. And yes, sometimes for the worse, right? Sometimes we get hit in the face with a 2x4 and it could be Aquarius's fault, just because whatever's transiting your Aquarius at the time might bring something that just comes out of the blue. Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn. So, hey, if you're doing any sort of hard work, or if you're doing anything that you feel passionate about, and maybe that is falling within the Aquarius part of your life, full moons can be very revealing in things going on in that part of your life. And that's something that I feel we have to really remind ourselves. And maybe with me and my social media, YouTube little rant before. Again, actually, Aquarius has nothing to do with social media in my life at all. Aquarius is my fourth house. So for me, my experience growing up and the way I view like home life has just always been eclectic and unique. And I've always sort of felt, I don't know, kind of like a black sheep, kind of always thinking a little bit more alternatively when it comes to family dynamics. And that's just been my experience. I know my sister is also a Scorpio rising like myself. So her Aquarius is also in the fourth house. And I know her experience is much different than mine. I think she feels like a black sheep in a way as well, but just for a whole different reason than I do, within the same family structure. And not even saying it in a bad way. Not like, oh my God, I'm rebellious and I hate my family, blah, blah, blah. No, nothing like that. Just my unique look at the world and how my roots and ancestry really play no defining role in who I am as a person. Like, I'm not someone who's obsessed with where he's come from. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been very individualistic on, no, I'm here and now. Like, great, my family roots are this, but I'm worried about the future and what I want to do in this world. I'm not worried about my ancestors. You know what I mean? And I think some Aquarius fourth house people are very, they can be very just on a one track. They care about the future. They care about what their purpose is in this world. They're thankful for their ancestors, depending who they were and if they were good, decent people, which in my case, as far as I can go back family history wise, most of them are decent. But some people are super obsessed with their family lineage and like doing ancestral healing work and blah, blah, blah. And people are very depending on what culture you're from, that could be a really big part of your life and culture. And when you're, in my experience, any Aquarius fourth house person, they're not really interested in making their roots and ancestry like a big part of their everyday consciousness. So this full moon, in my case, should be interesting. But it's also going opposite, right? We have the sun in my 10th house of Leo, which is stacked with planets. And then the moon in the 4th house. So I'm already expecting, because here's the thing. Full moons, everyone on YouTube and in the New Age communities love talking about full moons like they're this beautiful, divine luck frequency. The full moons are so wonderful. The reality is, in astrology, is the full moon is an opposition between the sun and the moon. Technically, full moon should be uncomfortable. That's actually why so many women go into labor, an uncomfortable process, I'm sure. Tell me if I'm wrong, ladies. Also, this is why people have a hard time sleeping during full moons. I mean, this is not a good time, biologically speaking. Our moods might be all over the place. People get angrier. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like anytime there's a full moon, I usually am this close to dying in a car accident more than any other time. So full moons are not times, in my opinion, where we are cheery-heary and trying to put new intentions into the world and this, that, and the other thing. That's more about new moon energy, in my opinion, right? So full moons reveal something to us. And yes, some of those things that get revealed can be wonderful. They can open us up intuitively and psychically because the moon is finally shining upon the darkness, things that were once hidden. That's the whole point of the moon card in the tarot, right? When you get the moon card in the tarot, in some cases, it's a message of, hey, there is something that was once hidden that is about to be revealed, or there is something that is being hidden from you, and this is something that's just going on, right? There was one time where I was using tarot with someone and they were being cheated on. And the moon came up like multiple times during their reading in which we were discussing their partner. And lo and behold, after a little investigating on her part, that was the truth. So the moon reveals things that are hidden, or it reveals things that they could be known to you, but it's like a new insight, new information can reveal itself, and then boom, there's an enlightenment moment, whether for the good or for the bad. That's just the way I look at full moons most of the time, because I feel there is a stressful moment that arises during full moons. I don't think we cruise through full moons, and it's more than half of the time there is some sort of intuitive development teaching in it. And honing your intuition is really being able to see what's not seen and to feel into the truth, right? Intuition is about truth and knowing can only be something that's true, right? At least in the moment, right? Because we can think we know something, but that doesn't mean it's fact. It just means that we have a moment of knowing, and it only becomes a truth when we logically accept it as a truth, but the feeling of truth comes before the logic. And in my opinion, most times during full moons, in that particular house topic, where the moon is shining, right? So in my case, the 4th house, something going on within my family dynamics or my relationship to my home, or in my case, I work from home and the sun will be in my 10th house of career. So there could be some new information or something could happen around the 18th, 19th, and 20th, I'm assuming. And my birthday's on the 18th, guys. This is the wildest time to have a birthday, by the way, because we have this Aquarius full moon happening Monday. We have a T-square that will be profecting Sunday, hitting Jupiter and Mars in Gemini. And I have a Gemini moon, as many of you know, and my Chiron is in Gemini. And interesting times for me. And all things considered, I don't really have much to complain about at the moment. Of course, I could find something to complain about, like bills or, I don't know, something. But I don't know. I kind of feel like I have to keep my seatbelt on until next week or something like that. But yeah, guys, but full moons, something gets revealed, and you could, may already have an understanding of what's going on in that part of your life. Like I can reflect on the axis of me working from home, right? So something might occur within my working from homeness, or something might happen within my home itself. And it could be something that I'm already aware of and I'm starting to understand more of the truth of. And if I really understand like parts of my home life dynamic, my work life and home dynamic, yeah, I can maybe see some themes that are bubbling up right now, but it's just really difficult to predict specifics when it comes to transits. It is just, it when it arrives. And astrology is a present moment lived experience, because astrology is life manifesting itself through, yes, when we track our karma and our birth chart and how we can analyze the transits going on around our birth chart, we can get a sense, okay, well, that's going to get activated. Like my 4th house will be activated by the full moon. But I'll probably feel a little tension in the 10th house, because that's the whole point of a full moon. There's tension between the moon and the sun, but that tension reveals something, right? And that may have something to do with the prior new moon cycle, or it may not. I sometimes like to say, yeah, new moons that lead up to the next full moon may have some kind of tie. There may be a link to that because of the intention you just recently planted into the ground within the last couple of weeks. So it is possible that something you intended to hopefully manifest in your life could come to be by the next moon cycle. That's totally possible. But I wouldn't really depend on that rhetoric and belief for what can arise during a full moon. And when we deal with Aquarius, we're dealing with that part of our life that we just look at the world a little bit differently. We do things a little bit differently in Aquarius. We are a little bit more independent and eclectic in that part of our life. Excuse me, guys. So this full moon will be falling in a place where we're talking about inventiveness, uniqueness. We're talking about a place that could be a little bit cold as well. Aquarius is not that warm of a place. It's a place that can be unpredictable, but also extremely creative. But a creative process that's not Piscean, where we get lost in the process. This is a very conscious creative process where a lot of focus and learning and experience has taken place probably in your life, in that Aquarius part of your life. And I think we're very awake there, like awakened in a spiritual sense. I feel like we've always been in that part of your life, wherever Aquarius is. I feel we've always been sort of awake and see that part of our life just way differently than everybody else. Like if I had children, I would say I would always look to maybe be an alternative type of parent. Meaning, like, always be open to the unpredictableness of what a child might need to learn and expand themselves, to take a different approach to parenting than maybe in a classical sense. I already know this about myself. If I was a dad, I would probably be like, of course you need to parent your children and teach them and hopefully instill good morals and values in them, of course. But there are very parents that are very Virgo-like and very rigid and strict, or Aquarius house is like maybe the 4th would be a little bit more like, oh, hey, like, let's explore this record shop and go, we'll talk about music, right? Just doing different things like that. So just because of who I am, that would be probably something I would do if I was a dad. So we do things differently in the Aquarius part of our life. We look at the world differently from that point of view. If I had a family of my own, I would be already engaged in my family structure from a very unique place, because I'm a unique guy there when it comes to home. The way I would decorate a home, what kind of music I would like to listen to in a home, just all of it. My perspective on home life is Aquarian. So for you guys, wherever this is falling, something with this full moon will be revealing itself. There will be an opportunity for seeing something in a new light, just like the moon illumines, seeing it in a new light, right? In its full shining brightness. And this is important to always remember in full moons, with full moons, is that something will always be shown in a new light there. And sometimes it could be very good, like I said earlier, or it's like, ooh, wow, I wasn't planning on seeing that, or I wasn't ready to have that kind of bubble up in my consciousness in my life right now. So, but there's so many beautiful things that could actually come from full moons, my friends. So don't get to, don't let my focusing on some of the shadowy aspects like I do in my videos discourage you in any way. I just try to analyze everything from a place where how can we psychologically transform ourselves if something does arise? Because most of us have challenge in our life, and most of us are evolving continuously. Life is a continuously evolving organism, right? And we're like one with that. So I believe most of the things that get revealed to us during full moons are beneficial. They are. It's just up to us if we're going to course correct, shift and pivot. Are we going to take with it what information we have? And what are we going to do with that? Right? Or are we going to celebrate something that was revealed to us? Maybe there's a gift waiting. Maybe this is a moment where everyone will see you there for the first time. Now, I'm not going to talk politics in this video, and back to what I said in my other video about having a podcast potentially very soon, where I will talk more about mundane world events, politics, stuff like that. I'm still in debate of how I want to express that project. I'm thinking I may make that separate in some way, shape, or form, because I really just like sharing my psycho-spiritual insights here, right? I like this channel for just me to come to the world and come to you guys almost more as a teacher versus like a podcaster. You know what I mean? So I'm still in debate on how I want to go about that whole thing, but to mention politics just very briefly, the Democratic National Convention is falling literally on the 19th, the day of this full moon. So the full moon will be kicking off the DNC right after this massive T-square to Gemini. And we're going to see things that I don't think America had seen in decades. I think the rise of Kamala Harris and the Democratic movement over the last month has been transformative. Whether you like it or not, it is a transformative moment. It is a out of left field alternative reality that we're living in. And again, key word, alternative reality. Aquarius can be very alternative and unique and inventive. And the Democratic Party is doing their best to really morph and change the game in the election. And they literally have revived a party from the dead after Joe Biden, pretty much, because he was so old. So again, not talking policy here. I don't care what your opinion is, honestly. I'm just saying the facts are there's a massive movement happening in America regarding the transformation of the Democratic Party. Aquarius is known for the radical shifts and changes. This full moon is happening right as it kicks off. If you look at Kamala's birth chart, if you look at America's birth chart, if you start putting all the politicians' birth charts together and you see how all these placements are falling within their charts, there is so much synchronicity on who is in a better position to win this election. There is so much a good astrologer can see from now. And I already see a lot, and this is kind of why I want to have the podcast, because there's so much I can talk about with all the details I see. But this Aquarius full moon is going to be a massive moment for that. So if you're keeping up with the news, or if you want to check in that week and see if anything that I'm saying is correct, because the T-square will be hitting Mars and Jupiter and Mars have been trigger points for uprise and protest, you can 100% sure anticipate a massive Palestine protest going on at the DNC. So expect that. I do not know how that will turn out. I'm not saying anything specific about it, but what I'm saying is there will be uprise and protest regarding that. But at the same time, we're also going to see a moment of history getting made because we have the first woman of color attempting to become a president, right? So there is a massive, unique omen here for something historical. And the full moon in Aquarius is just going to shine a light on this reality. So again, when I have a podcast or whenever I express my views a little bit more in depth on maybe the election, if any of you guys are interested in that, let me know. Once again, the more people I know who might be interested in this other podcast project idea, the more I'll get a sense of, maybe where to put it or who may already be interested in it. But I do have other people outside of YouTube very interested in wanting me to create some kind of mundane astrology network, podcast, show, something. So yeah, guys, that's the end of this video on the Aquarius full moon. I hope you gained something from it. Please let me know. If you want, let me know where Aquarius is in your birth chart. How's your experience there? Are you anticipating? What do you think could be revealed there for you? Whatever you're comfortable sharing. If not, don't worry about it. Just hit the like button. If you also want to connect with me and book a reading, I do have availability still, a couple of dates and times available for August. September, I have a pretty good open schedule-ish. Think people are starting to contact me about September. So yeah, contact me immediately on my website, links down below, send me an email, and we will just chat real quick back and forth in an email, and we can set up the perfect day and time for you, okay? All right. So yeah, my friends, that's all I have for you today. Talk to you soon.